Yo, what's going on, and welcome to a quick little Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. As you may know, I've been playing Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution, and in that I've mentioned a few times that I've been playing Duel Links as well. And so currently there are some Duelist challenges that are available, and each of them has a specific solution, so you have to do the duel in the correct way to win in one turn from where it goes, or from where it starts you at. So I have already gone through and done all these, but I figure I could show off all of the solutions to them real quick. And none of them seem to be too difficult, except the last one required a little bit more thought, and they're supposed to get progressively harder. But they always give you a little hint, like be amazed by Mecha Phantasm Beast tactics. So obviously we're going to be using a Mecha Phantasm Beast for this first one. And this first one, you'll notice that your opponent has a very unfortunate field at the moment. And also, any face downs your opponent has, you can always see what they are. So he is going to be able to tribute one Earth monster to special summon one level 4 or lower Earth monster. And if we read his Doom Caliber Knight, which is a pretty unfortunate card to be using, if a monster effect is activated, you have to tribute it and negate the activation and then destroy that monster. This monster, when a level 5 or higher monster is special summoned, you tribute this to destroy that monster. So we have Vice Dragon here, and it's level 5, and if your opponent controls monsters and I don't control any, I can special summon him. Obviously that's going to trigger Absolute Crusader's effect, which is going to trigger Doom Caliber Knight's effect, destroying both of them, and then he will activate his last card to put a card down in defense position, because he is afraid that if I attack over his attack position monster with whatever I summon from my extra deck, that he'll lose because he has 300 life points. So then we will summon Mecha Phantasm Beast over here, and we will activate Synchro Boost, which will raise the level of our Vice Dragon to 6, which now we can summon our Beast Concoruda, which is a level 7, and we have a 6 and a 1. And when we do this, obviously this guy, his effect is going to trigger again. If we summon anything above level 5, it will destroy it. So it's going to trigger off of him and destroy our beast. Our beast will then summon a token, and then we can activate its effect to summon back our little tuner here by sacrificing the token, which has exactly 300 attack, and you can attack for lethal. That one's pretty straightforward. It kind of just plays itself as long as you play all of your cards. Now the second one, we are going to have 3 wind-up monsters, which in this case, we're going to have 2 of the same one on either side and 1 in the middle that's going to have a different effect. So he's got a 5-headed dragon which has 5,000 attack, and we need to do 1,800 damage this turn. If we look at this guy's effect, he can increase the attack of one wind-up monster by 600, and we have 2 of those. So we are going to do that to this guy twice. And now we will look at his effect, which he can increase his own attack by 400. So we will do that as well. And now if we look at our trap card, we can target one wind-up monster and double its attack and defense. So obviously we want to use this trap card last, because we want to get more out of our double. So we do that, we get to 6,800 attack, which is exactly enough for lethal. Alrighty, and the next one is... this one is going to deal with scrap monsters. And we are going to actually give one of our monsters to our opponent, because it is going to cause them to be defenseless, essentially. So here we have Scrap Breaker. If our opponent controls a monster, we can special summon this monster. When it's special summoned, we have to select a scrap monster and destroy it. Now when we special summon him, he is the only one we can select to destroy, but we can now activate our Scrap Searcher that was in our graveyard, and when we lose a scrap monster, we can summon Scrap Searcher here, which allows us to tribute summon Scrap Golem because we haven't used our normal summon yet. Now, with Scrap Golem on the field, we can select a level 4 or lower scrap monster and summon it to either player's field. Now we can select Scrap Searcher, and we will choose to put it on our opponent's side of the field, and we need it in attack. That's important so we can actually attack it. And when it's summoned, it destroys every other monster that isn't a scrap monster on that side of the field. So now you can see we have lethal as it only has 100 attack and we have 2300. Alrighty. And the next one, use your opponent's power to your benefits. I don't remember which one this is. We'll see in just a second. Okay. So what we're going to want to do is we're first going to want to look at what our opponent's cards are. They have Tornado Bird, return 2 spell or trap cards on the field to their owner's hand, as well as Green Kappa, target 2 set spell or trap cards on the field and destroy those. Now if we look at our trap that's down, it's Starlight Road. When a card or effect is activated that would destroy 2 or more cards we control, you can negate it, destroy that card, and then special summon a Stardust Dragon. Now we don't have 2 spells on the field yet, and if we look at Book of Teiyu, we can flip 1 face down monster face up, and that'll, obviously both of these are flip monsters, so that'll activate their effect. Big Bang Shot over here is going to allow us to do piercing damage to a defense position monster, and it's also going to give 400 attack. So we're going to set that down, and we are going to target Green Kappa over here because he destroys, and our card says if a card would destroy. We will flip Green Kappa, which then he will target both of our face downs, and we can activate Starlight Road in response, negating that effect, allowing us to summon a Stardust Dragon, and then we can equip Big Bang Shot to the Stardust Dragon. The dragon can now do piercing damage to the last monster. Now this last one is a little bit more difficult, as it seems a lot more failable. Like the one before, if you didn't set down Big Bang Shot, I think you would fail. But this one definitely has more conditions to fail. You just have to do it correctly. So if you see what we have a Mushroom Man, and we have Dust Tornado. We can target 1 spell our opponent controls and destroy that target. And then we can set another card, but we don't have another card to set, so that's unimportant. Then we look at their cards. He has a Widespread Ruin, which when an opponent's monster attacks, you destroy the attack position monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. So that's important, because if we can get our highest attack monster's attack to go through, then when a different monster attacks, it will destroy the one that's already attacked. And Security Orb over here, activate only when your opponent's monster declares an attack, changes the battle position of that monster. When this face down card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by the effect of a spell or trap, your opponent controls destroy 1 monster on the field. So, we can essentially get rid of one of those cards with Dust Tornado here. You might think Widespread Ruin is the right one to get rid of, and that would be incorrect, because we can work around Widespread Ruin to have it not actually cancel our attack. As you can see, they have 5,000 life points, so we're going to need to do a lot of damage this turn. Security Orb, it's going to flip something into defense mode, which will, in effect, cancel that attack. So Security Orb needs to die. Now, if we look at our extra deck, we have Armades, and Armades is actually really good for this because if it attacks or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So how are we going to summon Armades? We have a Dark Verger. When a plant-type tuner monster is normal summoned, we can summon this to our side of the field. However, that's not going to matter. Instead, we're going to use Junk Synchron's effect. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And then we can look at Gigantes, which we can banish an Earth-type monster from our graveyard to special summon him. And if he dies by battle, he can destroy all spell and traps. Obviously, that looks like you might be using his other effect, but he can't die by battle, so that's not important. We don't want to summon him first because we need Dark Verger. So we'll summon Junk Synchron, we will activate Junk Synchron's effect, summon Dark Verger, don't activate that, we will then special summon Armades, and it's important that you get rid of the Dark Verger and not the Mushroom Man, because we need the attack of the Mushroom Man. Now we will activate Gigantes' effect and banish Dark Verger to summon him. So now you can see we have exactly lethal. We have 19 plus 800 is 2700 plus 23 is 5000. So all of this damage needs to go through. How are we going to do that? Now we already decided that Security Orb is the one that needs to die. Plus Armades has the highest attack. So his attack is guaranteed to go through and the opponent can't activate anything. Which means that when we activate or when we attack after Armades, Widespread Ruin is just going to kill Armades and these two are going to be safe to do their attack. So Security Orb needs to be gotten rid of. Now, something cool that we can do is we can attack with Armades. His effect says no opponent's card effects can be activated. So now we'll activate Dust Tornado while Armades is attacking, destroy the Security Orb. Security Orb can't activate its second effect to kill a monster because Armades is currently attacking. We attack with Gigantes, it destroys Armades, and then we can attack with Mushroom Man. And that is the solution to the final puzzle. That's all 5 puzzles done in about 10 minutes there. They're not that hard except for maybe the last one. If you aren't aware of how Armades interacts with all abilities being used on your opponent's field and the fact that you can still use abilities, just your opponent can't. But either way, hopefully you found this useful. If you like the Duel Links videos, be sure to let me know. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time.